I don't know. Anyway, I have no clue.
I'm glad we both have flannel on today, though.
I don't. Well, this is
Look at this.
This is faux flannel.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's faux flannel. So it's
Still the same thing.
It's flannel for those who don't want to be a lumberjack. So
I love being a lumberjack.
yes, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I work all night and I sleep all day. What? Hi. I have a dog in my lap. So, well, I guess. Hello. I guess this is as good of any time to start, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to Pizza, Beer, and Life. I'm your host, Roxy Freefall. And right next to me is my co-host, Cherry. And this is Klaus.
Z-Klaus.
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 Z-Klaus. Yes.
Z-Klaus.
Klaus the Wonder Dog. And so... Yes.
Special guest star.
Special guest star. Yes. So we've had so many wonderful requests to have guest hosts and whatnot. So we figured, it was only, yes, please take him. It was only appropriate to have Klaus as our first guest.
Yes.
On the show. So there you go. Oh, Lord. But yes, welcome to Pizza, Beer, and Life. And before we get started into the weeds of this month's program, there's a couple things I want to just touch on. First off, we're very, very sorry that there was no episode last month. So between, and I can give you every excuse in the book, but quite frankly, it was just a matter of scheduling. Between illnesses and the holiday, Thanksgiving, and everything else, things just didn't pan out, and they just didn't work out, and sometimes that happens. And so for those of you who were looking for an episode last month, we're very, very sorry that it didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, bottom line, shit happens, and a lot of shit happened to the two of us, and unfortunately, that shit didn't happen at the same time. That was the other thing, we were just completely off kilter, and so for that, we are sorry that we didn't have an episode, but now we are back, and we are here to tell you how to live your life.
And Klaus.
And with Klaus. But we will do that in a moment, but the other thing that I wanted to touch on, it's actually a little bit personal for me. I just wanted to give a quick, God, this is weird. It's like an in memoriam. My home, away from home in New Jersey, Roxy and Dukes. And I will say, for those of you who are not familiar, I am not the Roxy, just a Roxy. It was just a matter of coincidence. But that was a venue that was in Denellen, New Jersey. And it was where, when I was going through some of the hardest times in my life, that was my escape and that was my home. And they eventually let me start the first iteration of this podcast, Awesome the Podcast Punch and Pie there. They allowed me to produce so many wonderful shows. And for everything that they gave me, I will always be eternally grateful. And the reason I'm mentioning them today is because on Tuesday, the brick and mortar was torn down. And while we had the closing party a couple of years ago, and it was great to see everybody, seeing the images of Roxy being torn down was I did not expect it to affect me as much as it did. Nobody wants to watch their home literally being torn down. And so that's essentially what happened to all of us Roxy and Duke's crew on Tuesday. And it was incredibly sad. And it just means that, that phase in our life is over. And, but I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on Roxy and Dukes and thank them, thank Jim Parks especially, and also Noreen Dunn, and all of the staff, David Johns, Dee, Beth, Manny, and right off the top, I know I'm forgetting people, but all of the amazing people that I met there, who became my family and who are still my family. And Roxy and Dukes is the reason why I have members of my family today that I have. And so to them, thank you. Thank you, Roxane Dukes. Thank you, Jim Parks. Thank you, Noreen. Thank you, everybody, for giving somebody like me a chance to flourish and to, really figure out who I was. I didn't know who I was at the time. I had lost something myself, and Roxane Dukes helped me find that person again. And I would not be sitting here looking at you all, or the person who I am today, if it was not for Roxane Dukes and everybody that came through those doors. So to that, I thank you. I raise a glass, and here's to Roxane Dukes. Long live Roxane Dukes, and long live the Roxane Dukes crew forever and ever. So, cheers. So, all right. Thank you.
I almost got emotional on that one.
I know. It took a lot. I'm actually really impressed with myself right now that I almost did. I almost cried. No, I did. Like Tuesday, I was a mess. I just, when I saw that, I was a mess. And so I think I got it all out then. But that being said, let's, we're going to continue with the show. Dun, 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 dun. So this is Pizza, Beer, and Life, and it wouldn't be Pizza, Beer, and Life without the beer! Ooh, da, 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 da. So being that it is the holiday season, and there are roughly, what did I see, like 20 some odd different holidays in December? That. Yeah.
Just in one place, too.
Yeah, exactly. There's a ton of holidays in the month of December. But we are going to celebrate one of them. I guess it's Christmas, right? Yeah. I mean, gingerbread is it's Christmassy. I don't know. But in any event, so today's beer, I'm going to show it to you guys. This is what the can looks like. And yes, I will fully admit that I got that one of the reasons I got this was because of the can. So, to those of you who make beer and distribute beer, pay attention to your can art, because it helps. So, this is the night before. It's a gingerbread stout. It's imperial stout with natural flavor. And let me just grab the single can here. Here we go. And so, the brewery is it's a brewery in Virginia. And I said that, I try my best to do Maryland breweries and whatnot, but this one just struck me so much, and I was just like, I really just want to try this. So it is it the one from Virginia? Oh, wait, did I mess that up? So it's Westbrook. South Carolina. My apologies.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a brewery in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina called Westbrook. And you can tell that we've never had this. Unfortunately, I can't tell you too much about Westbrook Brewing Company other than that. But this one, it's Imperial Stout, clocks in at 11%. So this show's going to get really interesting.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. So there's not much else to tell you about the brewery or the can. So we're just going to...
I mean, I just love that it's like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Kind of play.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons why I got it. Ugh. And if you're in the local Hamden area, I did pick this up at Wine Source. So if it's great, please go check it out. If it sucks, I don't know what to say. So, and
you didn't hear it from us.
You didn't hear it from us. And so, yes, and the glassware we are drinking out of is from Peabody Heights Brewing, right in the Waverly neighborhood of
This is nice and
Baltimore.
thick.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the molasses that they put in gingerbread.
It is. It is thick as hell, and I totally poured this wrong. So, that's okay. I've got a lot of...
Mine looks pretty good, though.
It does. I have a lot of head on mine, so... Oh, there's a joke in there.
Said.
Yep, there it is. I got a lot of head. So, and we got a dog running around, so...
Yeah.
All right.
You will see him throughout the show, but not constantly.
But not constantly.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So,
he's still a puppy, so he just kind of does whatever the fuck he wants.
Ooh, cheers to you.
Nice and ooh.
I know, right? Down one, up to those. All right. So far the nose is pretty good. Okay. It's stronger than I expected, but well, nope, that's a lie. It's an imperial stout, so
I like it. I like it a lot.
it's good.
It's very good.
It's good. So, the
I
thing,
am a sucker for anything gingerbread, especially around Christmas time.
well, and the point, like what I was going to say is, it's the one of the things that I'm always concerned about with gingerbread stouts, with vanilla stouts, with is that they focus so much on the flavor and the sweetness,
Yeah.
that it takes away from the stout, right? So, and that just a lot of times that just means that the stout base really just isn't there,
Yeah.
right? But this, it's beautiful. It's definitely. I mean, it's true to an imperial stout. Definitely.
Good.
It has beautiful texture. I mean, look at how dark that sucker is. I mean, that's like midnight. I mean,
Yeah.
that is just brilliant.
I really like the way that it smells, though.
Right. So the nose is there's gingerbread in the nose. There's a lot of there's nutmeg, everything like a gingerbread cookie would have. Nutmeg, gingerbread, like, ginger, the whole thing.
Like, it's very seasonal.
It is very, yes.
Like, that smell, it's like, that's what you smell. It's just like, hey, it's December now, and this is, like, what we're doing.
Yeah. I will say it's a little malty on the back end, but that's an imperial stout, right? Like, you are going to get that like malty texture on the back end with an imperial stout, and this definitely has that, but it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like it's molasses.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes
It just looks like molasses coming out of this can. Like,
sometimes,
holy shit.
and the reason I say that is because sometimes when you're dealing with an imperial, flavored imperial stout, or even like a bourbon barrel or something like that, you get this kind of almost syrupy texture on the back end, and this doesn't have that.
No.
And it is. It's quite lovely.
It looks thicker than it tastes.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it does. It's because when we poured it out, I was concerned. I was like, Jesus Christ, this thing, I don't, we had pizza, like in true pizza beer and life form, we had pizza right before we started taping, and I was like, oh man, did I need to eat? But no, it's not. But no, it's not. It's not chewy. It's really smooth. I honestly, if you didn't tell me, I would think that this was in like a bourbon barrel or something.
It's very good, though.
It is. It's very good. So, all right. Let's see. What was this? Westbrook Brewing Company out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Gingerbread stout, imperial stout. I give it 2 thumbs up.
Me too.
So, like I said, try to check it out. If you are a stout hound like I am, you will not be disappointed at all on this. It is. It's beautiful texture, beautiful flavor, lovely notes. I'm just trying to think of.
Spice is nice.
Yeah, there are. There's beautiful like I said, ginger. I'm getting ginger, nutmeg, a little bit of vanilla, just like a gingerbread cookie, but not an overt, like not those sweet ones. We're talking like an actual gingerbread, and I think they captured that in this.
Yeah.
It is quite lovely.
Yep.
Well freaking done. Seriously. Well freaking done, Westbrook. Huzzah. All right.
Huzzah.
Onward. Quick questions. It's the getting to know you, getting to know all about you. So the first question is, what is your favorite random fact? So, and totally like, and I know Cherry's giving me the eye because I've been on Hinge lately, and so this totally came from that.
Yeah. All right, go for it.
I don't know. I wrote the sound and I don't even know.
The Hinge.
The Hinge.
Oh,
I mean, wait, what, you want me to tell you about? I can talk about Hinge till like all freaking night and how terrible it is.
Maybe next episode.
Next episode. Oh, yeah, next
New
episode.
year.
The new year, new you.
Trying to like go put yourself out there for the new year in the dating apps, like.
Oh no, you don't want to talk to me about that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, no, that's not an episode that you want. I don't think.
No.
But
Yeah.
No,
I'm not a fan of dating apps.
Anyway,
I try. Anyway,
all right.
yes.
My
Anyway.
favorite random fact. I don't know. Do you have one that you're thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
Anyone who knows me loves I'm like weirdly obsessed with dinosaurs. Not
Yes.
from like a
Yeah,
very
where's
like
Petey?
not from like a very
There's
like
Petey.
scientifical. Is that a word? Scientifical?
No, but I believe
Scientific?
I believe the phrase is scientific.
Scientifical.
Scientific.
I like scientifical.
We started drinking.
Yeah. From a very scientifical aspect.
Yes.
Anyway.
I've got a puppy.
Yes, you do have a puppy.
All right.
Anyway.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Fuckus.
So,
Fuckus.
I just like them because I think they're just cool as fuck.
Right.
Like, all of their spikes and their scales, and that's why I like them. Not anything about how long they lived or whatever.
Okay.
But I read an article that said per fossils that they dug up, that they didn't technically roar the way that we think they did. They probably
Really?
more sounded like really loud birds.
You mean like caca?
I'm not sure if like a caca is maybe pterodactyl.
There you go. Oh, pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl, yeah. I don't know, but can you imagine a T-Rex like coming around just being like caw, like with his like sharp teeth? I don't know. But yes, I did read an article that they don't believe dinosaurs roar the way that we think that they did.
Interesting.
So that is my random fact.
You're a random fact. Okay. Oh my gosh. This is terrible. I wrote this and I have a favorite word, but I mean, and it's not what you think, but no, favorite random fact.
What do you think I'm thinking?
I don't know. Well, everybody knows like one of my favorite words, which is see you next Tuesday, but that's not my favorite word. My favorite word is plethora.
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 That is a good word, though.
It is. It's a great word.
Plethora.
Favorite random fact.
I'm not going to mention my favorite word.
I don't know. Honestly, like this is terrible because like I said, I wrote this question and I don't like I'll be honest, like all I can go back to is like what I've seen on Hinge.
Which is, go ahead.
Oh no, well like
enlighten us, please.
Like I don't know, something like dogs can't look up or something. Is that true? Like,
can't they?
I don't like they can't look up, you know.
Hello?
I don't know.
Can you look up?
Like I've seen that. I've seen oh, what else did I see on there? A couple other things. Well, all right. You know, let's go back. Like we're going to go back to that because for some reason I'm just drawing a blank. And like that just sucks because too, like I'm a fucking like I'm science adjacent. Like I should be able to come up with something.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I have no idea. I'm off kilter today. Sorry folks. So we'll just go right to the next one.
Yeah.
So when did you first feel like an adult?
I know this one.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh. Go forth.
So, a little bit more on like a personal note.
Yeah. It's fine.
When I got married, we went back to the house and we were having just like food and cake and all that stuff. And my oldest sister, I come from a family of 4 girls, just so everyone knows.
Right.
The oldest is in her 40s now. Somehow we came up on, like, finances. This was a couple years ago.
Okay.
Came up on, like, finances, and my oldest sister randomly asked me about, like, paying rent, which was very weird. I don't remember the conversation specifically, but she was like, wait, you pay your rent on time, like, every month? I was like, yes. Yes, I do. And she was just like, wow. She was like, that's awesome. And I was like, I know. Wait a minute. I was like, I know. I was like, I'm a real adult.
Adulting.
Because I pay my rent on time.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's adulting. Da 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 da.
Which is crazy because this was just a couple years ago, and yeah.
So I think,
even though that's happened before, but I think that was when I realized, I was like, wait, I'm a real adult, because like even my oldest sister is telling me, like, that's awesome that I can pay my rent on time.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, even before the first of the month.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I'm 44. I still can't pay my rent on time.
I mean, I'm not saying it's all the time, but
no. The first time I actually felt like an adult, I think, it was, gosh, I want to say, I'm trying to pinpoint the reason I'm pausing is because I'm trying to pinpoint the year, right?
Okay.
And I want to say it was around 2002, I think. And at the time, I had just moved in with my first fiance. There were 2. And, huh?
Whatever.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, 2 wedding dresses, never walked down the aisle. Anyway, so moved in. I was in my apartment, not my first apartment. Now, like, my first apartment was in college, and like that really doesn't count. That's not really adulting, right?
No.
So, but
kind of just have to do that,
right? But I had gotten in. The reason I mentioned like 2002 around that time is because my ex-fiance and I were living together in this great garden apartment in Edison, New Jersey. And it really was. It was this great 2-bedroom apartment, like had a nice little patio and, everything else. And but every Saturday, because he used to work in television, local television, and he had these weird hours. So he used to work on Saturdays. So every Saturday morning, I would have this routine of like cleaning the apartment and, making dinner and things like that. And that was, I think I can pinpoint, that was the first time where I actually felt like an adult. Because that was the first time where I
giving
really
into the patriarchy.
Pretty much, But no, I don't want to say that because I don't want to.
Sorry, I know.
I don't want to discredit him because he actually is.
Playing.
He's a very he was an incredible human being and just a really good person, and just didn't work out. And I know.
Just playing.
But like you're not wrong too, because I fell into
cooking.
But you're not wrong because I did. I fell into, and that I think was one of the issues, was that I fell into these patterns of, just cooking and cleaning and, and everything else. But that was the first time that I actually like came into adulting, and I had the corporate job and, just all of it. And, so I would say 2002. So 2002, I was, drum roll, 24. I was 24. So 24 was when I first felt like an adult, I would say.
Okay.
So.
I'm a late bloomer. It's fine.
It's okay. Is it okay, Klaus? It is okay. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I still haven't thought of a random fact, and that is kind of sad. Like I said, I'm filled with knowledge. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's because I just share so much crap with everybody on the regular. So,
maybe.
It's not so random. So now I'm very distracted. Our first guest is very distracting. And I'm getting, yes. I don't know what he's.
Just looking.
I know.
We ate pizza, so he's
did.
like,
yeah,
residue.
like a.
He's like, let me lick the residue off.
There we go. Anyway, all right. Let's get into
anything he can get. He'll get.
We're getting into the meat, ladies and gentlemen. The main questions. We get to tell you how to live your life. Huzzah! Right? So the first question I pulled from one of my favorite advice columnists, Carolyn Hacks, who is a writer for the Washington Post. Please go check her out. She is incredible and she gives great advice, and I read her column every day. So here is what I pulled from there. How do you deal with folks who talk fast? I feel attacked. Who talk fast and don't seem interested in listening. They interrupt nonstop. I can't even get an entire sentence out. These are all people who are valuable to me, have a lot of advice and wisdom, and care about my happiness.
Yeah, keep drinking.
I know, right? So how do you? It's difficult. Conversation is difficult, and I'm going to start by saying this, and I cannot preach this enough. And it's a TED Talk by a woman named Celeste Headley, and it's how to have a conversation. And I'm going to start off by saying that. Please go out, watch this TED Talk. It is only 13 minutes long, and it is the best 13 minutes you can ever invest in yourself, truly. That being said, I've gotten that out of the way. How do you do? I think where I come from on that, it's twofold, and the first is just allow them to talk and just listen. And the reason I say that is because I feel like sometimes people like that, they don't get an opportunity to. And they don't get an opportunity to get a lot of things off their chest. And for some reason, you are that person that they're comfortable with, right? And so listen, like that's the biggest thing is listening, right? And listen for those cues and things like that. And depending on your audience, interrupt them. If you're interested in what they have to say, ask the questions. How did that make you feel? Like engage them. How did that make you feel? That is, very tragic. I can't imagine something like that happening. What do you think you're going to do next? Find a way to, keep the conversation going, but also try to find a way to wrap it up as well. Yeah. And so how do you deal with it? But I just realized I don't think I'm addressing the question here, which is how do you deal with folks who talk fast and don't seem interested in listening? They interrupt nonstop. Come out and tell them that. Where if somebody is interrupting you, you have full authority to say to them, I appreciate that you want to contribute, but I'm still trying to finish what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal honesty is usually the best policy.
Mm-hmm. Precisely.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the bottom line. Just be honest. If you're honest with yourself, if you believe in what you're saying too, like that's the other thing is something like that won't work in a situation where you're kind of hublub about, what you're talking about or the topic or something like that. It really pertains to, if you're passionate about something, let them know it and just say, hey, like, I really want to talk to you about this. Let me talk.
Right.
It is completely fine to interrupt that person and say, stop. Like, I don't appreciate you interrupting me. I really want to finish this statement. Like every once in a while, like even my own mother, I love her, but every once in a, and I know she's going to watch this going, girl, you better watch yourself, but that's okay, because every once in a while, I actually have to say, oi, let me finish.
Yeah.
And then she says, oh, I'm sorry. Because most of the time, and now that I'm talking about this, most of the time that person may not realize what they're doing too.
Right. Exactly.
So, I mean, what else do you... What do you
No, I mean, that was my first instinct. Was like, most of the time people just don't realize that they do that.
Right.
Because we come from like a society that's like, oh, don't hurt people's feelings, because then who knows what that might lead to. But at the same time, like, it might hurt somebody worse if we aren't honest about like what we feel and think about things that they do or say and the way they act and excuse me. But yeah, like just be like, most of the time it's somebody that you've already been in contact with and like you're very close with. Just be like, hey, dude, like, sorry, but like you're constantly like interrupting me. Like, just slow your roll. Like, let me finish my sentence, and then I am more than happy to listen to what you have to say.
Exactly. And I think too, to add to your point, if they're your friend or they're your loved one, they will respond positively to that.
Right.
And if they don't, then you really have to reevaluate the relationship that you have with that person. Because if they're your friend and you say to them, hey, I'm not done making my statement, just give me a second, and then, you can tell me everything that you want, and they respond in a negative way, that's not good.
Red flag.
That's a huge red flag. Because that's just somebody who just wants to railroad the conversation.
Right.
So, I mean,
they just really don't give a shit what you think or feel.
Right, and that's the other thing. Yeah, sometimes people just want to word vomit, and it's funny because I recognize I am one of those people as well. That, sometimes I just want to word vomit, and every once in a while, like, I'll have conversations with my friends, and I know you've experienced this, where I'm like, look, I'm really sorry.
I do it too.
I have to word vomit. Give me 5 minutes. Right? And that's the other thing. If you have something real important that you need to talk to somebody about, and you know that this person has an inclination of interrupting, tell them straight away, hey, I need to get something off my chest. Please just let me word vomit. Let me talk. Let me get this out. And then you are more than welcome to give your impressions or your advice or whatever comments that you have. But I really need to talk about that. And just lead in with that too. It goes back to the thing that we always say every fucking episode, which is talk to each other. If somebody is hurting you, if somebody's
every episode,
if somebody's not, giving you that space that you need to get your message across to them, tell them. If they're your friend and if they want to be in your life, they will understand, and or I shouldn't say, they may not understand, but at the very least, they'll be receptive to what you have to say. And if they're not, then that's a whole nother thing entirely. So, yes. Klaus, do you have something to say? He just wants to... Is there something over there? I have no idea.
He just wants to pose.
He does.
Hello, I'm here.
I am here. I am Klaus.
I'm still here.
I am still here.
And I'm the Klaus.
So I think we can consider... That was a quick one. I think we can consider that one closed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's... There we go. Okay. Oh, all right. So our main question for today... I don't know. I like this question a lot.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. So this one came through, and it's a doozy. I'm in my mid-30s and I'm finding that making friends and then keeping them has become harder. Is this the norm for everyone? How does one go about making and keeping friends as an adult? I need a drink. Do you want to start this one?
Don't be an asshole.
There you go. Rule number 1, don't be a dick. All right, so let's assume, right? Cheers. Don't be a dick.
Yep.
No. And I'm not saying that the person who, reached out with this is one at all. Like I don't know that this is completely anonymous. So, like, no assumptions. But that's the first thing. Like, good people attract good people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, like, that.
Do well, mean well, all that good shit.
Yeah. Be kind and, So.
I know all of that seems like super cliche.
And it's
like,
trite and bullshit and whatnot, but it's fucking
goes
true.
a long way. Yes,
it's true.
So true, and it goes such a long way.
Yeah,
such a long way.
I mean, like that's the thing, and
right?
Yeah,
even Klaus agrees.
Apparently,
he agrees.
But I think to expand on that a little bit, like this might be harsh, and this is gonna be harsh. If you have a hard time keeping and maintaining friends and whatnot, and it's over a wide swath, you need to sit down and really evaluate how you've been responding to those relationships, right? And the give and take and things like that. And there's a lot of instances, and I'm trying to be as kind as possible with this.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, like it's so hard, but it's like, ugh. But there are going to be some instances where, someone might listen to this and say, but yes, I am as kind as possible. I'm not an asshole. I do what's best and things like that. And, sometimes it is. You're just not meeting the right people. But at the end of the day, the first is yourself. Mm-hmm. The first is being confident with maybe not necessarily confident, but it starts with you. And what version of yourself do you put out into the world?
Right.
Right. And that's not me saying that you have to put a fake version out into the world. Like you should be your authentic self. But at the same time, what is your authentic self attracting? Right? What kind of energy is that attracting to you?
Right.
Right? Are you taking all of your problems and putting them out into the world and making them other people's problems, whether you think you are or not? Whether you're doing it, inadvertently or advertently. Like what is the person that you're putting out into the world? Again, it should be your authentic self, 100%. And yeah, we all have good days. We all have bad days. But when you go out into the world and you go to the bar and you talk to people, what are your interactions like? Are you actually going back to the first question? If people are talking to you, are you actually listening to what they're saying? Mm-hmm. Are you engaging on what they're saying? Are you asking questions about their life? Are you engaging with them? Right? And so and vice versa.
Or are you only trying to impress them?
Then that's the other thing.
Because if you're only trying to impress people, then you're going to act out of character. Let's be real. Right.
And most of the time, people who have a hard time, I think that people who
Which I'm not saying impressing people.
No. I understand.
It's a bad thing. I'm just saying.
Well, no, people should be impressed by your genuine accomplishments.
Right.
Like, if you're coming to people genuinely with hey, I did the thing and this, and it had this result and then that's fantastic and it should be celebrated, of course. But if you are, if someone is constantly coming to the table with, these inflated views of themselves, is that what you're getting at? Or am I completely off
Yeah,
base?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
With inflated views of themselves, it's going to get tiresome.
Yeah.
And it's not your authentic self.
Right.
Because you're constantly trying to you're making friends through your accomplishments. At the end of the day, nobody cares about your, well, then I shouldn't say that. We do care about your accomplishments. Of course we do. But what we care most about is you as a person.
Yeah, the accomplishments and being appreciative and caring about it usually comes after we're already friends. You know what I mean? Because like
Exactly.
once you meet somebody, if it's like somebody for the first time and like all they're talking about is being like, oh well, I did this and this and this and this and this, you're like,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Or
like I feel like you're only telling me this to like impress me or make you sound like cooler.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, hey, this is who I am and this is who I am on the daily. Rather than like, this is all that I've accomplished and this is why I'm like so great.
Right.
No one
cares.
I don't want you to be like so great all the time. Like, not everyone is so great.
Right.
No offense to
Yeah.
anybody. Like, I'm not so great.
I'm not great. I do great things every once in a while.
Yeah. I'm not great every day by
No.
any means.
By any stretch of the imagination.
By any means.
Heck no. And I think that's what it boils down to is...
Sometimes I'm a very lazy person
I hear
that just lays around with this guy.
And why wouldn't you?
All day.
He's fucking awesome.
And do nothing. And, like, that's not accomplishing anything. Like, it's not doing great things. It's not changing the world. But, like, my friends still love me because I showed them from the get-go, like, who I was. That, like, hey, listen, I'm a broken person. But I'm real.
Right.
And I've had experiences that I can share with you that might help you too through experiences that you've been through.
Yeah.
Hence why we're so close.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
shit.
There is that. Well,
She's
cheers,
like,
cheers
like, some of the things I've shared with you. Holy fuck.
Yeah, same here. Oh, hold on.
But yeah, I mean,
I think
I've just gotten to a point in my life, like, yes, probably in my early 20s, was I doing that? Where I was like, oh, I have to impress people because I want more friends. And it's like, again, another cliche. It's not quantity, it's quality.
Right.
And I just got to a certain point in my life where I was like, I don't need a shit ton of friends.
No.
I just want, like, really good ones.
Yeah.
That, like, understand, like, where I've been and what I've been through and, like, what I still go through every day.
Yeah.
And, like, I have that now. And it's like...
And it's fucking awesome.
Am I constantly getting text messages every day from, like, a million people? Like, no. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like, I get so annoyed by having, like, a million people, like, texting me all day. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah. No.
I want somebody who's going to literally text me and be like, morning, how's you? Which she does.
Yeah, every 3 days. I'm like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Doing okay?
You know what I mean? And
Did you eat today? Yes? Okay, good.
Right. Sometimes
that's it. That's all you
exactly.
need.
Like, sometimes my friends have to ask me if I ate today.
And I think that goes to, I was just about to say, it goes to investment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And what are you willing to invest? And investment isn't just, what you're willing to share. It's what you're willing to... I don't want to put it this way, but it's the only way I can think of putting it. It's what you're willing to take on, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because friendship, it's a two-way street.
Right.
It's, you have your crew who you depend on, but they also have to be able to depend on you.
Yeah.
And so, the moment that they, people don't feel like they could depend on you, even for the smallest things, that becomes a problem. And so, I don't want to divert from the actual question at hand, but when I say investment, it's how much do you want to invest in people? And sometimes there's instances where, like, you don't have a lot of energy to invest, and that's fine. You don't have to be a good friend and invest 100% all the time. It's just, how much, sometimes investment is just listening to the other person when they need to. Sometimes it's just recognizing that they're having a bad day and sending that message to them and saying, hey, I'm thinking of you. Let me know if you need anything. And then when they actually reach out and say, hey, yeah, I could actually use a shoulder.
Yep.
Be willing to provide that shoulder.
Yep.
So, but like I said, I feel like I'm diverting from the actual question. And so the question is,
not really.
No, not really. But how does one go about making and keeping friends as an adult? Okay, so no, we haven't diverted too much. But to go to the making friends, we'll start there. I want to kind of cut this up a little bit and actually answer the question. So how does one go about making friends? Going out.
Yeah.
And I don't mean, when I say going out, I don't mean to a bar. I don't mean to whatever. I mean, that could be, showing up at work and actually talking to people and, making friends in the work environment. Those are your work friends.
Right.
Again, it's about investment. How much investment do you want to put into each area? And so some people, I have some friends who are really close with their colleagues and they're really close friends, and that's their thing, and that's completely fine.
Yeah.
I have friends that I've met through the bar scene, and that's fine too. Again, I touched upon earlier this episode, Roxy and Dukes. I have friends that I met there, through the music community that are my family, who I'm insanely close with right now. So it's, how do you go about making friends as an adult? Go out, figure out your passion. What is your passion? What do you want to do? Is it music? Is it art? Is it technology? Is it tennis? Is it, squash? Is it pickleball? Is it like baseball, softball?
Squash?
So I don't know. I'm just, going off. But the point is that we are all passionate about something. Mm-hmm. And there's a community out there that you can meet people who are also passionate about these things. Yep. And so it's about being proactive and getting out there and just meeting people and shaking hands. And unfortunately, it's a lot like dating, and that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But the level of it is a little bit less, which is nice.
It's the best part.
Right. And you never, I think it was Matthew Hussey, with regards to dating, but it was Matthew Hussey. I love Matthew Hussey. He was the one that had suggested, he said, every single invitation that you get, say yes to and go. Which is hard, right? And I've been trying to do that as much as possible.
Very hard.
While exploring, but while keeping my own boundaries, because sometimes I just don't have the energy for it. But the reason that he says that is because you never know what's going to come from it. Right? You never know who you're going to meet. So you have an acquaintance who says, hey, I want, let's go, let's go to this brewery. Well, I don't drink beer. Well, go anyway. You don't have to drink beer.
Right.
But it's still an opportunity to do something and meet people.
Correct.
Right? They have other things.
Yeah.
It's fine. But again, I use a brewery as an example because the beer is sitting right here in front of me. But, it's, recently, even, Cherry has said, hey, why don't you go to this happy hour with me? Okay, yeah, sure, I'll go. Absolutely. Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
Right.
You have no clue what's going to happen. You have no, and you might not meet anybody, but you still did it and you still win. But it's just the possibility, because you're not going to meet anybody if you're just sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah.
Right? There's all these apps on, there's, meetups and, things like that. And, social media is a thing, and that's great. It helps us expand our world even more, but you're not going to make those connections unless you actually get out of the house. So that's the first thing. Get out of the house. Start doing stuff. Shake hands. Talk to the person that's sitting next to you at, the bar, the bowling alley, the squash court. I had to circle that back around. But that's it. And I know for some...
I wish I knew how to play squash.
I have no clue.
Me neither.
Go to that show. Go to the movies. Find an event, a community event. Go, do community service. Oh my God, the best way to meet people. Oh my God, I can't stress this enough. And I can't believe I didn't say this at the top. The best way to meet really good people
I'm surprised too.
is through community service. Go to a food bank. Serve food to the people. Clean, sign up to clean up the neighborhood. Do something. Anything community service related. You're going to meet so many like-minded people, good people, solid freaking folks. That's just a great way just to get yourself out there. It's low investment. And, the possibilities are endless. So that's the first thing. How do I go about, making friends? Get out there. Do something. And if you can do something good for the world too, you're already 3 steps ahead of everybody else on this planet.
Yeah.
Right? And then how do you keep friends as an adult? Invest in them. It's all about Okay, wait, hold on. It's all about investment, right? So we all have to keep our boundaries. I'm a very big boundaries person. We all know this. It's all about keeping boundaries, but invest in people.
Yeah.
Actually find out what makes them tick. Talk to them. Don't talk at them. Much like the previous question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't talk at them, but talk to them. Ask questions.
Thank you.
Where did you go? How did that make you feel? Again, Celeste Headley, watch her TED Talk. But yeah, actually invest in people and actually invest in their feelings. So, sorry, I'm taking up a lot of time here because I'm very passionate about this topic.
Okay.
But please, by all means, I know you have things to add.
No, I mean, I don't... Honestly, I don't think I do. I mean, I feel like you covered all of it.
Sorry, I just steamrolled over all of
No,
that.
I mean, you're totally fine.
Yeah.
But you totally just covered pretty much
Hi.
everything.
I've
I mean,
got
we are friends, obviously, because of our own values, and we look at these things the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
it's yes, invest time, but
But
not because somebody's telling you to invest time. Actually, just give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just pretend.
Right.
But
don't be pejorative.
If you don't really care about this person and what they're going through, then they're probably not the person to be friends with.
Right.
For whatever reason. Just save yourself the time and don't waste their time, because they're obviously
Sorry, I have a dog that's jumping on me right now.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Come here, little one. All right, there we go.
Yeah. But yeah,
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I know, I got you.
It doesn't take long to figure out who is really going to be there and who isn't going to be there.
Right.
No matter what.
Yeah.
So just give yourself that that time to put yourself out there and like I said, it's not going to take long to figure out if it's somebody that you should also invest your time in, because
Right.
they will show you, trust and believe, they will show you what they need and want from you.
Yeah.
Whether it be somebody just like go out and grab a drink from.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's somebody that you can actually like say, hey, I'm having a really fucking hard day. Like, can you please come over and just like sit with me and like let me vent? Like, not everyone is very intuitive.
Right.
I'm a Cancer, so like I tend to read people very well and am very intuitive and whatever. But it's very obvious.
Yeah.
I think as human beings we make it very obvious like what we want from people, and unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time, like sometimes we might be at the bar and we're just like flirting with somebody and like clearly, well, this is what I want from you, or it's like clearly I just want to talk to you and this is why I'm not flirting with you. You know what I mean? Like, or I'm just asking you how your day was, and that is...
I'm really sorry. I am listening. He's
very distracting. I get it.
Yes.
I live with him.
I know, and he's biting me.
I live with him every day.
I mean, he's biting playfully, but it's just...
I know.
Sorry. Well, one of the things I wanted to touch on, because you had a very strong reaction to when I had said, don't talk at people.
Yeah.
You had a very strong reaction about that. What is your experience with being talked at? Like,
I think it was more so from like a relationship aspect that I've been talked at.
Yeah.
Rather than like talked to.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Massive difference.
Yeah. So not so much like from like a friendship aspect. Like most of my friends are very respectful. Like, actually, all my friends are respectful. And...
Well, you think so.
For the most part.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Give them a little bit to drink and then you're like, okay, go the fuck home, please.
Well, thankfully I am home, so.
Not talking about you. But
That's
yeah,
fine.
no, it was just kind of from like a romantic relationship aspect that I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah, I got you.
Know what that's like.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it I think at the end of the day, it's about investment. It's about, okay, you have to take your dog. I'm sorry.
You picked him up.
I know. Well, because he was jumping on me.
I know.
But
he just likes attention.
He does like attention,
like his mom. We just like attention. But we just like attention.
But I think at the with making friends, as an adult and keeping them, it's what it comes down to is about investment and communication. You can go out and you can have really good times with people, but it's about what you want to invest in them. And also the other thing, now that I'm talking this out a little bit, it's when we talk about investment with people, it's recognizing who is going to be like a close friend versus an acquaintance too. Like, where do you want certain people in your life? And that's completely okay. That's also recognizing that not everybody has to be your best friend. So an example that I'll give is I have I've always touted that throughout my adult years, I have had a close circle of what I call advisors. And it's a very small group of friends. And when I say small group of friends, I'm only talking about like maybe 5 or 6 people in my life.
Right.
Who know everything. They know where the bodies are buried. Like, they know. No, truly. They know everything that's going on with me. They know a lot, like the majority of my history, and they're the ones they're the rides or die. Like they're the ones that I know that I can call and say, hey, come over with a shovel and lie. And they will not ask any questions. Right. And so but more importantly,
Do you have lie?
I might. I'm from New Jersey. Of course I do. But,
Just curious.
yeah, I mean, you need it for the lawn. Yeah. There's a lawn back there. It's small. But you need it for the lawn.
I was talking about myself.
But regardless, right? It's I have that small group of advisors, right? And then if you peel the onion back more, then I have really good friends who they know a lot, they know enough, and if I needed a favor or something, I know that I can call on them. And then I have another layer who, I see
like a blooming onion.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's literally like a blooming onion, where you have the center, your closest knit people, and then you still have people in your life, but they're a little further away.
And most of the time, you start picking from the outside anyway.
Right, exactly.
And that's who you eat.
I wouldn't go that far, but it is a thing.
That's who you get rid of first.
But it's true. So it's that close group of advisors. Shockingly enough, the members of that circle, there's people in there that I've known for 25 years. There's people in there that I've known for 2 years.
Yep.
Right. And it's ever evolving depending on where I am in my life.
Right.
And so the point that I'm making is that, we all, every person doesn't have to be your bestie, ride or die. Sometimes it can just be somebody that you see on occasion, that you call every once in a while, that you're like, hey, what's going on? Do you want to hang out, get a drink, or you catch at the show and you just hang out, catch up? Hey, how are the kids doing? Things like that. And it's the point is that all of that is okay. Mm-hmm. And so when you realize that, that's the first thing is realizing the value in yourself, and being confident in yourself. And when I say confident in yourself, I mean being able to work things out, to a certain extent yourself, being able to function as an adult, basically, just the smallest things. But why are you making a face?
I hate being an adult.
I know, I don't like it either, but still, it happens.
Yeah, it does.
But, it at the end of everything starts with you. Everything starts with your own self-worth and your own self-confidence. And then it's how much good can you put out to the world? That's the second thing. It's what are you doing for other people? What are you doing for yourself? That's good. And then what are you doing for other people? That's good.
Right.
And then, so long as you can answer those two questions honestly and move forth in kindness, trust and believe you will be wealthy in friends and companionship and everything else that's associated with that. It all starts with just being kind. It's being kind to yourself first, and then being kind to other people, and just being willing to listen to people's stories, listen to what they're going through, even the smallest things. And that's how do you make friends? That's how you make friends, is being kind and being a good listener.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah. It is.
And love, I think we can we close that out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I'm just going to do a little clap. So, class, can I get a little high five? A little high five from the class. There we go. Woo! Oh, and I got a lick too. There you go. Okay.
He's not contagious.
I know he's not contagious, but still. He's your dog. And I love him.
Auntie Roxy's being mean right now.
Auntie Roxy.
Go say hi to Say hi to the peoples.
Well, we've got a dog on the table. I think that's a good place to,
Yeah. He likes tables. So
He does like
fine.
tables.
He does.
All right.
It's an eye level thing, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Well,
Yeah.
now that you have a dog's ass in your face, that was the December episode of Pizza, Beer, and Life. And I am Roxy Fruitful, and this is Cherry. And thanks so much for watching this episode. We really appreciate you. The dog is licking my glass now. We gotta go. It's done. It's over.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Love y'all.
Love you. Be kind to each other. For the love of God. Ah!